we'd like to welcome on the show our soccer expert, our Rock the Mic finalist, Katie Goodman. As we look forward to, is this the end of the FIFA chase, the World Cup chase for the Team USA, or is there still a breath of life in them after they lose to the Canadians a couple of nights ago? And what has been a pretty brutal week for all, I guess, the world soccer teams.
Yes, it has been a brutal week indeed, but there's still definitely a chance. You know, El Salvador, they luckily were able to take down Canada. It was rough. It was rough.
That was ugly. What the heck? What happened?
Well, you know, they came out with some really strong energy, and I think that early goal just really put them on their heels. They became really frantic after that. They started playing really narrow and versus getting really wide. So, you know, getting wide, spreading the field, taking up the space in the way that they needed to. So they weren't really lifting their heads up. And you could tell in moments where they weren't playing simple, they were trying to adhere to a tactic. So, for example,
I'll expand on this. Yes. I think we've come to the problem right here.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So this is how we know that this is a coaching error versus a talent error. And what happened, so there's a couple of instances, a couple of players during the game where their natural, usual style of play would be to move into the correct space, maybe do some 1-2s, kind of carry over that European influence. But you can see where, for example, people like Brendan Aronson, who is playing center striker, he comes back, drops the ball when he had all the space in the world to turn and go into the attack. And so what that created was a bunch of just doing completely the wrong thing half the time. So a lot of times they would drop the ball when they should have gone into the attack, or they would force the ball when they should have created more space. And that's because they were trying so hard to adhere to this tactic. And a lot of publications have noticed the same. They're starting to talk about this. And Berhalter was quoted at the beginning of last year saying, "We want to change the way American soccer is perceived." So he's trying so hard.
Well, didn't we get bullied? I mean, didn't the Canadians just beat us up? Wasn't that one of the complaints, that we just went into a Canadian team and that just beat us up for at least a period and a half?
You know, I think we gave a good fight. It was really physical in the beginning. They weren't even calling any fouls at all until the fouls started getting ugly, and then the ref stepped in. So I think, yes, there was a lot of pushing around, throwing each other around. And I think it was one of those things where maybe physical ability just couldn't hang as long with the Canadians on this one. Here's the thing. They were playing simple. They were playing smart. They were executing on their chances in the final third. We had a lot of chances in the beginning of the game. It's not that it was a terrible game. It's just that the simple things weren't done well. So,
well, Katie, in this world of sports, you have to have what they call as amnesia. So what we're going to try to do, we're going to try to forget about Canada, because there's a couple injuries for tomorrow night's game. But what do they have to do to get out of here with 3 points tomorrow night versus Honduras?
So if they play the way they played against Canada, they should beat Honduras. And that tells you something. If you can come with that kind of energy, you're going to win. Yes. And it's because Honduras is at the bottom of the barrel for the qualifiers at the moment.
But we've lost the bottom of the barrel before, Katie.
Hey, I'm not saying that we can't be beaten here. So we beat them last time 4-1, and prior to that, we only beat them 1-0. So yes, you're absolutely right. There's a chance that they can give us a hell of a game, and I think it's one of those things where if they should have a chip on their shoulder after Canada's game, they should carry that energy with them and prove the world that they're a better team. So if they, you know, you talk about amnesia, but sometimes you have to use that anger, that frustration to do better as well.
Coach Berhalter, Greg Berhalter, the coach of the Team USA, when the season began, as we started looking toward the World Cup, there had been talk about maybe it's time to change. Then he went out and hammered Honduras, and everything kind of got better. Now we get an opportunity. We've come full circle. Are we looking at the end of this idea? Because when I hear, you know, going for scheme over the win, and I see a team fall apart or try to find something, it does aim toward the coach. Is he coaching for his job?
You know, based on yesterday's performance, it doesn't seem like it. What's very, very tough for these international coaches is they only get a couple of practices before each game, right? It's something we touched on last time. But when it comes to adhering to a really strong tactic, you really can't do that with international play. You can't do that with your national team. That's something that's for club teams where they can practice every day. They can work on their formation. They get to know the guys they're playing with. This is a different ball game. This is how do we play to maybe a couple of individual strengths? How do we build confidence that you can play and use that, improvisational nature that is soccer to do better versus trying to adhere to such a strict code of play.
Well, let's get to the real reason we had you on today, Katie.
Oh, no.
Katie's going, oh, no.
Oh, gosh. What are you going to bring up next?
Should it have been Drake as the father of that baby bump inside of Rihanna? Should Drake be her baby daddy over A$AP Rocky? Drake really took a beating yesterday in the social media. You made fun of him. I was making fun of him. Yes. Should that be Drake's baby?
It was too good not to. Okay, like have you seen? I know you've seen all the memes. Okay?
Yeah, I've seen them all. They're hilarious.
I don't know if these are wrong. I'm assuming snooze you lose. Okay, if she's happy, good for her.
Was there ever a chance?
Music, but I know he's a little.
I know Drake's getting abused, but was there ever a chance? Did he have motive? Well, he had motive. Did he have means and opportunity to plant the field?
Rihanna comes off to me outside looking in. She likes him a little rough around the edges. I think Drake's a little too clean cut for her. Rihanna likes a little edge. You know what I mean? She likes a little edge. Yeah, you know what I mean? She likes a little edge to her. But so are you a Rihanna fan? Are you happy for Riri?
I am. I love her. She's amazing. And you know you've got it when you can break the internet with a pregnancy announcement. Like that's how you know you're awesome.
But
so are they going to get married?
Rob, it's not.
Forgive me. I'm just curious.
And see, there was a time where if you were pregnant, you had to get married. That was just the rules. That's no longer the thing. So I don't know if they get.
I mean, was this a hookup or is this a long-term relationship?
Okay. They're together.
So will the baby be named Rocky?
Ooh. I'm taking bets. I don't know. It might be.
I mean, would that be the appropriate last name?
Man. I don't know. I don't know. But all I know is it seemed cold wherever she was at, and she had the bump out.
I know, but I like the style. I like all her jewels and everything, and it's one of those things where like who else would wear that outfit other than a celebrity? Like nobody else would pull that off other than her. I like the pop of pink in February. That's nice. It's so funny too how they were like, oh, when both your period and your album are late.
Oh my God.
That cracked me up. Yeah. So spot on. I love the internet, man. I love it.
I do too.
Well, let's not be late either. Let's not be like Rihanna's menstrual period and be late. Jesus. We would like to thank Katie for stopping by for our soccer update. Hey, let's see if they can take down the
USA,
the Hondurans, those dirty Hondurans. We're going to take them down and make our way to the World Cup. Thanks for stopping by, Katie. We can't wait to see you again.
Yep, me too.
Stopping by our soccer embed and our Rihanna expert.